Gude! Hi, my name is Thorsten Müller. I am the speaker and contributor of my Thorsten Open German Voice dataset. Today I would like to talk a little bit on a situation I'm struggling with right now. When I recorded my original neutral dataset, I made some mistakes. On the one side, the biggest mistake probably is I used a bad microphone and recording setup. And I wanted to pronounce my recorded dataset really clear. So what I did is I spoke every word really correct. But when I did that, the neutralness and the natural flow of the voice got lost on that way or that type of recording. So I decided to make a new dataset. And to not do the same mistakes again, for obvious reasons, I choose to set up a better microphone and recording setup. But there are more aspects. And on the one side, I would like to record it in a neutral way so it can be used in a voice assistant. And on the other side, I wanted to use it in a natural speech flow. So, but that is not as easy as it sounds like, because for obvious reasons we have just one voice, but we have several parameters on pitch, tone, volume, and how much air we put out while speaking, and bringing more or less emotion in the text. So we have several parameters to adjust our voice. So I thought, what way or what special type of my personal voice I would like the new data set to be recorded in. And to give you an example, and I will switch to German because it's my mother tongue and it's easier for me to show you what I mean. So let's take the sentence, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. Also das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. I first thought I would like my recordings and the TTS, the text-to-speech model, resulting from it, to sound exactly like me. So I would start recording in the same natural voice I will talk friends and family in everyday life. So taking that sentence in a normal way, I would probably say it, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. And as you might get, at least if you are a German speaker, that has not really been clear. The first thing, das ist gut, and maybe it's my local dialect, but I said, das ist gut. And it's not das instead of this, or ist, and I ignored that T at the end. So, das ist gut. And that is not really usable for a text-to-speech dataset or for a voice dataset when we want to use it as a TTS for a TTS model training. So then I thought, okay, I have to stick with it, record clear. Do not swallow up letters and record clear. Then I did a little researching on the internet and looked videos on how to improve a speaker voice and to speak like people working on broadcast or radio stations. And I found lots of tips on how to breathe correctly and what to breathe within the stomach, not in not. But so whatever, I found lots of tips, and then I recorded a phrase or phrases with, let's say, a way I would probably talk when I'm speaking to an audience, to a live audience with tens or hundreds of people listening. So I would probably tell more, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. But it's a little bit over the top, but it's not my natural way of speaking. And if I transfer that way of using my voice to a voice assistant or to an everyday talk, and again, it's I probably will do this all of these examples in German, and I would say to a friend of mine, for example, where I would talk naturally, hi, na, wie geht's, was wollen wir heute Abend machen? I would say, hi, wie geht's, was wollen wir heute Abend machen? And you can probably get that would led to really confused reactions by family and friends why I'm talking that way. So that is, I want to record clear, but I want to bring a little bit of emotion in the text, but not over the top. And so I tried several things out, and I showed, or I made the sentence, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen, in a natural but really unclear way, in a das ist gut, das können wir genauso machen gerne. And that is probably more I would talk when talking in front of a live audience. Maybe it's not the exact way, but nevertheless, I would just give you an impression of the difference. And the next version probably is to just pronounce it without any special ups and downs in the emotion, and that could sound a little bit bored. So let's again, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. And that is clear, probably it's hopefully sounding like my natural voice, but without swallowing or recording unclear. And if you just take a look at my face, and please again keep in mind, I'm not a professional speaker. I am just a guy watching YouTube videos on how to speak. Probably I could speak a lot before YouTube, but you get the idea. And I could say, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. Or, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. So using more muscles, more face muscles while speaking, and not just, das ist gut, das können wir gerne so machen. So just using the mouth, but instead using the whole face while talking. And so I just want to talk a little bit on, if you are planning to record your voice dataset for text-to-speech model training, you probably should think on the use case for the final model. So if you are planning to make speech synthesis for, let's say, audio books or stories that people would like to listen, so if you have this goal, you probably will record more with more emotion, or more in a way you would read a book to your children. And I don't think you would record or read a book to your children in that neutral voice, so that this is the voice you will record, or want your children to listen to your voice when you read a book. But you will more record it or read it with emotion to bring it to bring it more to life. So in general, I just would like to that you can think about that. If you are planning to record a voice data set, think on the final use case, because a data set in a neutral way will, when trained as text-to-speech model, will probably not work great for synthesizing audiobooks or novels or fantasy texts, while in contrast to that, a a more emotional data set and the text-to-speech model trained on it will probably sound weird when recording, or not recording, or playing back the weather forecast in a smart voice assistant. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I would like to show you, or hope that you can think on that when you are planning to record. We have just one voice, but think on how many emotions do I want to bring in. Always record mistake-free and clear, understandable, but do not forget the naturalness. So all these special things to keep in mind, yeah, I would like to think about before recording, because it's a lot of work to record a data set, and you probably will want it to lead to good results. Yeah, and that's probably all I have for now. So I'm gonna say have a nice evening, bye, in my German mother tongue and natural voice. So, also, das war's. Macht's gut. Vielen Dank. Bleibt gesund und wir hören uns. Tschö.